we may continue to see an increase, but that is 100% federally reimbursed. It is not state money.
But you get a bonus if you spend more?
If we increase if we increase the percentage of eligible people who are who actually sign up for the programs, they give out bonuses to states that do a better job of reaching more deeply into the eligible population.
And I understand for a program like Dr. Dinosaur, you have the authority, if that's right, to check in the tax department to verify incomes to make sure people aren't trying to rip off the state. Would you be able to use some of the technology to access back and forth faster to protect the Vermont taxpayer?
Yes, undoubtedly. We do many tape matches to verify all kinds of information in all of our benefit programs. Obviously, the more automated we are, the easier that will become. Fully realizing that benefit is not, we're not there yet, but it certainly makes it easier to do this.
And the governor's proposed budget has a handful of staff to have more rigorous review of that, both on the benefit side and the utilization side with providers.
Does the agency have a good estimate of how many of your clients or potential clients don't have reasonable internet access?
To be honest, we don't. Although certainly evidence would show that the number of people who access services through the web nationally is huge. Other states that have gone before us, particularly Florida, in the wake of several hurricanes, you remember a few years ago, there were many district offices were flooded. People could not access benefits in traditional ways, and so under tremendous duress, they implemented systems like this. And what they found is that folks who do access benefits are pretty savvy, and many of them have direct access through relatives or themselves. I forget what the percentages of people in the United States who now own computers, but it's substantial, and certainly Tom could respond better to the...
65% of Vermont families have high-speed broadband access. 85% can get high-speed broadband access, and those numbers are going up. And nationally and in the United States, and actually the United States is about 65% who have broadband access as well, but about 90% who have the potential to get it. But the number who have the potential and are getting access keeps going up as it gets more useful because of applications like this. And people get introduced in a sort of gentle way because they don't have to start by buying a computer and having broadband. They can go to their libraries where there's broadband. They do access broadband at work. So we are seeing that the gap between the people who can get broadband and the people who actually have it is closing as that broadband becomes more and more useful for things like this.
And in the end, if a client wants a paper application, we certainly will.
Certainly do.
Could you give me a sense of kind of what some of the back?
Is there a system in place for the 30 employees who are going to lose their jobs, or are they going to be shifted over to another department, or are they straight layoffs? What's happening with that?
I don't believe there's any layoffs. It's all
okay.
We've known this. This is all part of a plan. In fact, as part of the plans for the reduction of the state workforce, these plans were on the books. We projected that by June of this year we would be able to reduce by 30. We've been planning that. We've been setting aside vacant positions and so on and so forth. And we were given through the budget building process. We budgeted for this year 1 month of savings starting June 1st. For next year, there will be a full 12 months of savings. So it was all part of a plan, and we should not have to do any layoffs per se.
So does this $2 million doesn't count towards the $38 million of challenges for change?
It does not. It's already that's in fact already booked in the governor's budget that we've in the base budget that's already been submitted.
So the 30 positions that were eliminated were all vacant positions?
The 30 position. The way this works is that we budget for 30 fewer positions and the money is taken, and then we work with the staff that are, the whole staffing pattern for the entire department, and there's lots of moving pieces. I mean, our department is a large department, and so when we have time to plan, we can minimize layoffs.
And I think even with the layoffs, in the end, that's what generally happened. I mean, you folks have covered the layoffs and the big headline, but if you did a follow-up story, what you would have found is the overwhelming majority of expected layoffs didn't materialize and people found replaced, we're a large organization, 8,000 employees, over 3,000 just within this agency alone. And in the end, virtually everybody landed on their feet. There were some people that elected to go elsewhere, but the number of actual layoffs were very, very few. And I think Steve did an outstanding job of responding to one of those necessary position eliminations with coming up with a thoughtful, strategic, proactive approach that in the end caused very, very few people to be dislocated.